Welcome, everyone. In this commentary, we're covering a video made by the group channel, the Purely Odd Grandmasters, more specifically starring Joukun, Factor Light, and Togenio, while we calling Joukun, Light, and Toga respectively. Anyway, the video in question is Suspicious Events of 2016, which was uploaded November 20th, 2023. Now, I think that the video overall is fine, but I have some issues here and there that I want to point out. The video is a commentary on a former YouTuber called Sonicshadow98, while we calling Shadow, who made a rant on the SCC back in 2022. It wasn't the first time that Shadow has ranted on the SCC, it was, in fact, his second video on the subject. His first video on the community had come out a year before, and mostly happened due to the fact that he's become a bandwagon, if memory serves, after former commentator Loudon Styles covered his rant on the hit game Among Us. I say if memory serves because between the time Shadow's video came out and the PogCom was released, all of Shadow's videos were deleted. It actually leads me to the first thing I want to point out. On the video's description, there are links to the videos sourced during it, including one of the videos made by Shadow, and, as I said, they are all deleted, including the one linked. This was the case when the video had just come out and it still is at the time of recording. I recommend either linking to a re-upload if you still have the video or just clicking on the link so it doesn't fill user space. Now, onto the actual video.
Eso, ¿qué es la mirra, Rey Maguito? Nadie sabe.
No sé.
So this year, he remade both of those rants, but we are covering the one on the commentary community.
Now you would think Sonicshadow would have something to offer for a video 6 months in the making. No, not at all. Whenever Sonicshadow isn't doing damage control and backpedaling, he's getting salty at other members of the slideshow commentary community. Mind you, he wrote a script for this and 6 months later, he made this 7-minute long video. Now the reason why Sonicshadow made the CC rant part 2? Me and Fractured Light said sus in his comments. That is it.
I hate to be negative again, but what the hell? I come back to YouTube, I rebrand myself as the Sonicshadow channel, I become more positive and negative, and I become really cool and badass. And this is the crap I get. This right here. Oh, this crap was on a freaking plush video of old videos that I have made. This comment was on Tales Stays Up Late at Night part 2, to be exact. Stop with the Among Us memes. They are dead, and they were never funny to begin with. See, this is why I decided to rant on Among Us a while back, because this crap really annoys me. This entire thing is horrid. Oh, such imposter, like the baka. I do not know who the hell thought you were cool people, because in my book, you are not cool at all. You're spewing out dead memes out of your frickin' ass, and you have nothing better to do but comment on my videos. These are the scums of the commentary community.
I really don't like this introduction. Joukun is already trying to make us dislike Shadow before the video even starts, by talking about behavior that is not particularly relevant to the video, with no evidence to back it up. Except for maybe backpedaling, which you could have just brought up when it happens in the video. But even ignoring that, there's something else that irks me. Why did you show this clip? This is taken from a separate video and never mentions that this is the reason why he's making the rant you're covering. It doesn't even mention an SEC rant at all. The only thing that this shows is that your comments got him mad. Sure, he does mention that he hates making it again, but without the context we don't know what he's referring to. The it that Shadow mentioned could very well be the video you took the clip from. Another thing. Let's talk about Toga's comment, which I'm assuming was left on the video you took the clip from because of how you are presenting it. How did Toga know that there was a rant on the way? Did Shadow mention it in his video? If so, why didn't you show it alongside the clip you used? Alternatively, maybe Toga posted it as a joke and it turned out to be what Shadow was making. That is possible, but either way we have a problem. Why was Toga's comment included in the video? It specifically talks about when the video is going to be released, and, according to Joukun, the video took 6 months to make. From my eyes, the former is supposed to prove the latter. Here's the thing though, Joukun said 6 months. The screenshot was taken 4 days after the comments were made, and Shadow's response is that the video will be out by the end of the month. You see the issue? This screenshot, which I'm only assuming is supposed to prove the time it took to make the video as otherwise it's completely pointless, leaves us with, at best, 5 months completely in the air. This leaves me, someone who was only superficially aware of this bandwagon in town, very confused, and I imagine that any newcomer that stumbles upon this video would not be much better off. Not helped by the fact that, reminder, Joe's entire channel is now gone, including the video you took the clip from, which not we can check for ourselves. If you had taken a screenshot to show when Joe's response to the comment was made, this would, at least, clear up some stuff. Granted, you didn't need to prove that this is why Shadow to make his rant, but little be less issues. Although, I do have an alternative explanation. Okay, so remember when I said that Shadow's video was deleted? That's not entirely true. Doodletone's SCC archive has some of his videos saved. This includes his second rant, and alongside it we have the upload date, May 28th, 2022, almost 6 months into the year. And this is where those 5 seconds of Toga speaking I left in come up. So this year, he decided to remix his videos, and 6 months later his second SEC rant comes out. I think that these are the 6 months that Jokun is referring to, and somewhere in production the information mixed. I know that I'm really grasping at straws here, and I'm sorry if I missed the mark, but with what you gave me I can't really do much else. Either clarify more about when the video was made or just avoid mentioning how long it took. It's not like it changes how good Shadow's video is after all. And finally, I have to ask, is Jokun and Light go to a random video on Shadow's channel and brought up a bad video that, by our own admission, came out a year before?
So last year, a furry by the name of the Sonicshadow channel made bad rants on the commentary community, sometimes referred to as the slideshow commentary community, and of course the game Among Us.
Why did you do that? To get a rise out of him? And better question, if that is what you wanted, why did you get on his case over it? As someone who has never seen a video made by either Light or Jokun, this is really not giving me a good first impression of the two of you.
Eso, ¿qué es la mirra, Rey Maguito? Nadie sabe.
No, sir.
Once again with another video. This time it's going to be a rant, and what I am going to be ranting on is the commentary community. Yes, this will be the second part of a rant I did on the commentary community almost a year ago because I really need to rant on them again.
I feel so special. Oh, and by the way, even though he acknowledges it's over a year old, throughout the rest of this rant, it almost feels like he expects us to have seen it. Look, virginity is based, but it's not based enough to make me go back and watch your original video.
The video you're covering is titled The Commentary Community Sucks Part 2, and Shadow refers to this video as the second part in the clip you played. I'd argue that most people, after hearing that, would take the initiative to go watch the first part. It is a continuation after all, and if someone decides to watch them out of order, that's not Shadow's fault. And if you still want to go with this approach, maybe you could have asked Shadow to link the first part somewhere in the video, assuming he didn't, so that way it'd be more easily accessible.
Eso, ¿qué es la mirra, Rey Maguito? Nadie sabe.
No, sir.
Honestly, what do I have to say about them? They never really improved one bit.
From where? Your original rant a year ago? From the community's inception? From where?
The only time frame that Shadow gives in his videos so far happens 2 sentences before he says that they haven't improved, and it's specifically referring to the time that passed since his first video. The other times when Shadow brings up specific time periods happens way after this brought up, so it's hard to believe that anyone would connect them. So what else could he be referring to? Also, if my interjection regarding the 6 months of development is any indication, you three aren't particularly would be clear about the time either.
You both never established that, nor explain exactly what the community was like at that time. If you mean from your original rant, I could give you some form of credit, but it shouldn't be my job to watch a different video to understand the context.
If the video is explicitly telling you that it's a continuation of a previous video, it kind of is. You can't just jump into a book in chapter 13 and then complain that there wasn't a proper introduction to the story.
I could understand the idea of a thesis statement, but when that statement is so vague, I can't get behind it.
The statement made is way too generalized. For all we know, you could be making the point that the community has been in stagnation since the birth of YouTube. Personally, I'm not gonna even attempt to try and figure that one out. So let me slap the much deserved citation needed over this clip.
Throughout his video, Shadow addresses the issue he sees in the commentary community in the present context, or at least present at the time. While he talking at past events during his video, when they are brought up, I argue that enough time has passed where you find it difficult to link them together with the "they've never improved since" line. So using the release of his first rant as a frame of reference still works.
Eso, ¿qué es la mirra, Rey Maguito? Nadie sabe.
No, sir.
See, what I meant in the first part in this rant is that people in the commentary community should at least be civil about it, and if it doesn't work, don't respond. Simple as that.
Obligatory reference to the earlier point about how comms can be done for more than the target's improvement.
Oh, thank God, I don't have to go on another tangent.
I hate this mentality provided by the rabbit kid from Bambi.
If you can't say something nice, don't say nothing at all.
This basically means, please suck off the motherfucker talking, even if it's bullshit. Don't give criticism, only praise. Which will not get anyone to improve at all.
That's not what he said. Shadow was only asking for civility. He never said anything about praise, and if there is any additional context that can lead someone to a conclusion, you don't show it. Funnily enough, Shadow's original video goes against this very concept, as he says,
I also apologize to Loudon Styles for refusing to take his criticism in a civilized manner to improve, and for making that poor reaction video on him. He had some great points in his video on me that I overlooked, and for that, I'm sorry.
Shadow not only praising Auden's critics but also calling himself uncivil tells us that he doesn't view civility and criticism as inherently linked, and I like to add that this clip is played by Light as soon as we got back to the video. So you are just giving your audience a reason to counter you in the very same interjection. And even if he did say that and he did want nothing but praise for the original video maker, what would be wrong with that? Sure, it may not be entertaining for me or most people, but if that's what Shadow wants to see, then there's nothing wrong with that.
Eso, ¿qué es la mirra, Rey Maguito? Nadie sabe.
No, sir.
Granted, those two dramas have since probably ended.
When the sussy commentator is too lazy to find out if a drama has ended, please, my guy, do research.
Ding 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 ding! Ding ding ding!
Remember guys, the CC hasn't changed, and his proof is drama he doesn't know enough about to know if it's ended.
Shadow saying that the drama has probably ended doesn't necessarily mean that he doesn't know about the current state of the drama. Granted, with the way he talks about them, I wouldn't blame you for assuming that, but it can also mean that the drama has ended for now, because anyone could pop out of nowhere and make another video on the subject, rekindling it once more. For example, some commentary group could make a video on an SEC rant that's over a year old.
Eso, ¿qué es la mirra, Rey Maguito? Nadie sabe.
No, sir.
Fortunately, with the many sea of assholes in the community, it's hard to find sane ones in that community. Many like Umbris and Raven Pines are total dipshits.
Yeah, fuckers, get pwned!
Yes, Raven Pines, the person who calls her audience friends, is a dipshit.
Hi, friends!
And she also ends all of her videos telling her audience to be kind to one another.
Until next time, this is Raven Pine saying take care and be kind to one another.
Now would be a good time to show evidence that proves Raven is a dipshit.
Ah yes, because video makers that open and close the video with kind words are always, without fail, good people, and no one who goes around publicly with a kind or positive demeanor has ever been outed for doing heinous things behind the scenes. Look, I'm not trying to say that Raven is a bad person or anything of the sort, but these things don't prove anything. If you really wanted to argue Shadow's points, giving only the request for evidence would have made your point overall better.
Eso, ¿qué es la mirra, Rey Maguito? Nadie sabe.
No, sir.
Boonslayer also is pretty much one of the people in the community that are just downright shitty. His commentaries aren't even that great to begin with, and he honestly has gotten worse. He's even worse than Dual Tones, and yes, I said it.
Damn, subjective opinion about someone's content out of nowhere? As well as once again bringing up unnecessary drama? Pretty base, not gonna lie. I'm lying.
Subjectivity that, mind you, is measuring Boon against a point of reference we don't know shit about. Like, who is Doodle Tones? How bad is she? You better not interject as an excuse to self-deprecate if you happen to watch this video, by the way, Doodle. I know you go on about her in your part 1, but what if people don't want to watch that? At least say, and if you saw part 1, then you would know that says a lot. Or, I don't know, something.
I can't believe that there are subjective opinions in a rant video. A genre that is renowned for its pure objectivity, especially when it's mentioned that the subject sucks in its title, or that's only associated with objectivity and has no tie to subjective opinions whatsoever. And it's not like this is the first time that Shadow brings up the quality of the videos made in this community. His entire point about how the CC treats quote-unquote drama, while generalized, are complete of the videos that are made, so him focusing on some of videos isn't that much of a stretch. Also, Light, if you bring up part 1 one more time, I swear.
Eso, ¿qué es la mirra, Rey Maguito? Nadie sabe.
No, sir. And besides, let's look at what Boon's point is truly about.
If you're gonna start crapping me, if you're gonna shove bad taste down my throat, Pokemon is overrated. Fact, not an opinion, but fact. A scientifically proven fact that can never ever be debated or argued.
That's proof right there. That it is at the core of who you are.
And aside from the edgy way to go about it, that additional context is, as Boon put it, proof right there. And still your actions and points prove that Boon isn't just some dick. He's hammering the point into you in hopes you'd improve. Too much to ask from Sonicshadow? Only time will tell, but it ain't looking too bright, Chief.
By the way, this clip again.
I apologize for making so much of a rant about me. I just had to talk about my experiences with them, but the way I went on and on about it, it was just wrong.
Like, okay, it isn't as much as your last CC rant, but the examples you spend the longest on are still your personal experiences or connect to you in some way.
Okay, so Jokun concludes that, basically, he's doubtful that Shadow is capable of improvement, but like, just as Jokun stops talking, brings up how Shadow has improved. I know he does so in order to say that he hasn't improved enough, but the fact that he has reduced the amount of time he dedicates to his personal experiences goes to show that he is learning how to write his scripts better. A baby step is still a step after all.
Eso, ¿qué es la mirra, Rey Maguito? Nadie sabe.
No sé.
My final thoughts aren't too existent. Basically, I have one last thing to bring up that I haven't mentioned before. Oswald, if you can improve from your past behaviors, you know, stuff from 2020, 2021, some of it, why the hell is Ombrus's 2017 reputation anywhere relevant? Let's ignore the other things about it, because actively looking, Ombrus has been taking steps forwards, so it doesn't even feel relevant. So I guess to end off, Bread.
I don't know. Why were the Among Us comments relevant to a Plus video that seems to have been released a year after his original rant came out? I'm serious, these were not only fine to make at the time, but are still fine enough to see an entire video around a year later. Why is Ombrus's past off limits? Sure, Ombrus's bad rep was 6 years ago, but Shadow's video was 2 years ago. At what point does it become fair game? It's not like Shadow brought out any criticism towards her, he didn't even point out anything specific about her behavior. And, as I pointed out, Shadow has also improved, much less than Ombrus, sure, but light flags part should also apply to him. And that's the end of the video. I don't really have any final thoughts, so bye.